Today, we're going to talk about the value of being a late bloomer in life. The idea that you don't have to succeed within the first 20 or 30 years of your life. In fact, you can take as long as you damn well want to take to become the person that you want to be in life. That's right. I give you permission to just take as long as you want to take some little detours, to fail, to fall backwards, and to finally succeed however you want to in life. Because life is a journey that we take at our own pace. It is not a race. There is no time limit. There is no schedule. There is no pre-planned system that you need to follow. These are all lessons that I've had to learn the hard way, and I've beaten myself up for many, many years about the fact that I haven't been a success at a certain age, or I haven't reached a certain level by a certain age and all that kind of stuff. And I've realized that it's a fallacy in thinking in society and also in myself. Last week, we talked a lot about the concept of why we are so hard on ourselves. And so this kind of comes on the back of that a little bit, where we tend to perceive that we have not succeeded to the same level of other people around us. We are not growing or developing at the same pace as them. We don't have the same outward rewards in life, or maybe we don't have a relationship like they do, or whatever. We're finding ways to beat ourselves up and to compare ourselves unfavorably, and to look at ourselves in a way where we think, why aren't I succeeding as well as people who are younger than me or the same age as me or whatever? So what is a late bloomer? A late bloomer is essentially someone who doesn't succeed at their first attempt, someone who doesn't become a millionaire by the time they're 25, who doesn't find the love of their life on their first date, who doesn't succeed at every single thing in their life the first time they attempt it. In fact, it might take them many years, it might take them decades, it might take them a whole lifetime to achieve the success that they want. And unfortunately, I have noticed, and you probably noticed as well, that the media these days tends to push the narrative of success happening early for more people. So if you look at celebrities, you look at entrepreneurs, athletes, whatever, a lot of the time it's geared towards this idea of young success or young wealth or whatever, fame and fortune. And the idea that a lot of people are doing it a lot earlier in their life, and most of us actually aren't. That's the reality. The truth is that early success, early fame, early recognition, achievement is actually very, very rare. And the norm is to take a long, long time to succeed in our lives. And there's a lot of failures along that path as well. But we tend to fall into the belief that it's not normal, that we should succeed or we should be growing and developing a lot faster than we are, because of this media narrative. And you know, the fact is, it's kind of sexy. It's kind of appealing and interesting to look at people who succeed quickly. You know, if you look at someone like Mark Zuckerberg, who was a billionaire by the time he was, 23 or something, or you look at athletes who make multi-millions of dollars, or young celebrity artists or whatever, those people are very appealing to look at, to read their story and to learn about them, but they are not the norm. That's the thing we need to realize, is that most of us are not going to achieve that level of success early. And in fact, a lot of those people who do tend to struggle later in life, or they have a lot of other issues that we don't know about that are happening as a result of them having that early windfall and that early success. So the media sort of pushes this narrative out there that we need to succeed by a certain age, whether it's 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 or whatever. We need to somehow succeed to a high level in our lives. We need to be millionaires. We need to have the love of our life. We need to have children. We need to be the CEO of a company or an entrepreneur or whatever. And my friends, it's kind of bullshit. It's not true that we have to be or do or have anything in our lives at any stage. We can be exactly who we are for the rest of our lives. We can be a worse version of ourselves for the rest of our lives. It doesn't matter. But you have to realize that this narrative is being pushed by the media because it is appealing and sexy and interesting. And it makes for great clickbait, basically. You know, when we see these stories of young, rich, famous people or whatever, the truth is most of us actually don't hit our stride until our 30s, mid-30s, 40s. For me, mid-40s has probably been where I've finally started to succeed in the ways that are important to me. One of the other things that I've realized from reading this book, Late Bloomers, and other books I've read over the years, is that age doesn't matter as much as it used to in the world. You know, there was a time for many, many generations, up until probably, 50 or 100 years ago, where human beings did not live that long. We lived maybe to the age of 40, maybe 50 or 60 if we were lucky, because health conditions were very bad. longevity wasn't a thing. And so to succeed in life, it was very important to do it by the age of 20 or 30, because that was kind of the peak era of your life. That's when you had the chance and the opportunity to make something of yourself. If you didn't, life was over. That was it. Your ticket was punched. So you really have to realize that life has changed a lot in the last 50, maybe even 20 years, where longevity is much more of a reality for us. We live a lot longer than we used to, and we have a lot more time span to be able to create the kind of life and to live a very rich, fulfilling life in our own way. And if you fall into this old school narrative that, life is short, or that you don't have a lot of time up your sleeve, then that kind of creates this urgency and this false narrative in your brain that you have to be doing things at a certain age, or you have to be at a certain level. So the idea of age being as, age not age mattering as much as it used to, I think that's changed as well. You see people succeeding in their 50s and 60s and 70s these days, who are doing amazing things in their lives, and we celebrate them for it, because they're actually succeeding on their own terms, in their own way, at their own age. And that's really key. Age doesn't matter as much as it used to. Still important, obviously, to take care of yourself and to have good lifespan and health span, but you have to realize that age isn't as much of a factor as it used to be a long time ago.